All right, so we are back together again. Hopefully you're doing well, and we're going to work on lesson 3.3, variables on both sides, but the real world situations, the real world problems for this. So keep in mind, if this is in that section, that means when you write your equation, which is a big part of what I'm asking you to do, you should have variables on both sides. So here's an example we're going to look at first, so kind of follow along. It says recreation. You can buy used inline skates from your friend for $40, or you can rent some. Either way, you must rent safety equipment. How many hours must you skate for the cost of renting and buying skates to be the same? So they're relating the cost of a friend's skate plus safety equipment rental to skates plus equipment rental fee. So here they know that they can purchase skates, because it says right here, you can buy skates from your friend for $40. And then, so here's that plus, you can rent safety equipment. If you look over here in this little sign right here, it says safety rentals. Inline skates and safety equipment is $3.50 per hour. And then safety equipment, if you're just renting safety equipment, would be $1.50 an hour. So because they have the skates, because they're buying them from a friend, their safety equipment would be $1.50 per hour. So they used how many hours, because remember it says how many hours, so that's your X, how many hours, or they used H in this case, before the cost will be the same. So 40 plus 1.5 H equals, and then on the other side, they're comparing it to, I'm just going to rent my skates and the safety equipment to a tune of $3.50 per hour, so 3.5 H. So they go ahead and set it up, and they solve, and they come up with 20 hours. So what this means, it says you must skate for 20 hours for the cost to be the same. So this is one of those situations. These are great problems to kind of evaluate what's the better situation for you. If you are an inline skater, you like to skate and do a lot, and you know you're going to skate more than 20 hours, it's probably, in a year or whatever, it's probably the better bet to buy the friend's skates right here. If you're an inline skater like myself, who would probably break my neck trying to inline skate, I'm probably not going to skate 20 hours. So therefore, it would be the better bet for me to just rent the skates and the equipment. So 20 is kind of the breaking even point. So these are good problems to compare prices. So let's look at this one, number 2. It says a hairdresser is considering ordering a certain shampoo. Company A charges $4 per 8-ounce bottle plus a $10 handling fee per order. Company B charges $3 per 8-ounce bottle and a $25 fee handling per order. So how many bottles, so that's our X, how many bottles must the hairdresser buy to justify Company B? So you've got two things, and again, it's going to be, we're comparing Company A to Company B, and Company A says they charge $4 per bottle. Bottle is our X, so that would be 4X, plus, there's our plus, a $10 handling fee, so plus $10. Company B only charges $3 per, meaning multiply, bottle. So that would be 3X plus a $25 handling fee. So check again to make sure that I have variables on both sides, and I do. So now I'm going to go ahead and solve. So just like we did with the problems, we're going to put variables on one side and constants on the other. I'll make this my variables, I'll make this my constants. So if I'm going to leave 4x here, I'm going to subtract 3x to the other side. So now that leaves me with x plus 10 equals 25. I'm going to go ahead and subtract 10 to the other side. And whoops. And that leaves me with x equals 15. And what's 15 stand for? 15 bottles. So the price for both companies is exactly the same at 15 bottles. So if you are a hairdresser and you know you buy way more than 15 bottles of shampoo a year, then you're probably going to want to go with company B because they're cheaper per bottle. If you know it's a special shampoo and you don't use very much of it that year, or during the year, you're not going to buy 15 bottles, then you would probably go with the less handling fee and the more expensive bottle. So that's what these problems are good for. All right, one more quickie. So it says a company manufactures tote bags. The company spends $1,200 each day for overhead expenses plus $9 per tote bag for labor and materials. The tote bags sell for $25 each. How many tote bags must a company sell each day to equal its daily cost for overhead, labor, and materials? Write an equation to solve. So this one is going to be expenses on one side and how much they sell for on the other. And here, they want to know, write an equation to solve how many tote bags. So where you see tote bags is the X. So expenses. First off, the company has $1,200 in expenses, and the bags cost $9 per, which means multiply, tote bag, we don't know, so that's our X. $9 per tote bag to make. So expenses, they pay $1,200 for, electricity and those kinds of things and wages, and it costs $9 to make a tote bag. They plan on selling the tote bag for $25 each. And again, X would be for tote bags because we don't know how many they're going to sell. All right, so once again, you have variables on both sides. So you got a 9X and you got a 25X. I'm going to choose to put variables on one side, constants on the other. I'm going to choose this as my variable side because I already have it isolated. And here's my constant side. So now I'm going to subtract the 9X from both sides, leaving 1,200 on this side equals, and then 25 minus 9X. 25 minus 9X would be like 16X. Now I'm going to divide by 16 and divide by 16. So that makes X equal to 1,200 divided by 16, which if you put that into your calculator is 75. So they must sell 75 tote bags to break even. So now think about that. This is one of those things that if you're going to go into a business, you got to kind of calculate these kinds of things. Do you think this might be a company you might see downtown Davison? Do you think they're going to sell tote bags out of the business? It costs them $1,200 to, rent and those kinds of things. And then they have to sell 75 tote bags a day just to clear even, not even make a profit. This probably isn't a company you're going to see in Davison, a small little town like that. Do you think they'd sell 75 tote bags? Probably not a day, and then have to do that day after day after day. This is going to be something that's going to be on a more global scale, a bigger company. So I really think sometimes when people go into business, they forget to calculate this whole expenses and what you're going to sell for. And they kind of get too big too soon and don't realize how many do we have to make just to break even? So it's really worth their while to kind of calculate that kind of stuff to make sure that their business is going to be profitable. All right. Have a